So today we are reviewing yet another old crappy Seiko, and this one's yellow.
Hi, we're Clockbait. I'm Anthony.
I'm Luke.
And we talk bollocks about watches. First things first, wristwatch check. What you got on your wrist today, mate?
I'm wearing a Seiko Saab 033, which I've just put on leather.
Which is, yeah, it's really quite nice because he's been doing odds and sods with different straps and stuff, and
Not been particularly happy, but this actually looks pretty good.
yeah,
with it.
I like that.
How about you?
I've got the Rolex Thermograph on, which I'm absolutely in love with. So.
It doesn't really ever leave your wrist, does it, to be honest, in the week?
Exactly, yeah. It goes to pretty much everything. I mean, it's more dressy, but a bit sporty. I quite like it.
Yeah. So today we have a Seiko 6319.
Is it 6319 or 6139? I should know, I've got one.
So today we are reviewing a Seiko 6139. Did I say 6319 last time?
Yes.
Did I? Amateur. Which is also known as a Pogue.
I knew nothing about these until I watched Apollo 13, and obviously it's a great film, everyone should
Does
watch
someone
it.
wear that in Apollo 13, do they?
Yeah, so obviously
Really?
first of all I was looking out for all the Speedmasters, and they're all period correct, which is fantastic, and then all the chaps in the control centre at NASA were wearing that. Was it Master Commander? I don't know if it was Master Commander or something, whatever.
Master Control of Rockets.
That's it, Master Control of Rockets. He was wearing one of those, and I was like, wow, that looks good. And then I see him, the same watch in another video, and I thought, actually, it's pretty ugly, but it's also awesome at the same time.
It's funny, when you first see them, you really kind of just think they're a bit really in your face.
Garish.
Garish is good.
Mm-hmm.
It does. And
Especially in pictures.
Yeah. It was kind of made infamous by a guy called Colonel William Pogue, who was a guy that went on a Skylab mission. Don't know what he was doing.
But who was he then?
He was an astronaut.
Oh, so he was just an astronaut, but a colonel.
Well,
Colonel of what?
I don't know. He wasn't a colonel of KFC, was he?
Oh, that's a shame. Things are looking good. No. So that's what he wore that in the research before.
He did, which kind of, that only got found out later on in the 90s, but there was another watch that was always meant to be the first automatic chronograph in space, because obviously the Moon watch, which we reviewed up there somewhere, that was manual wired, and the reason was they thought that gravity couldn't do, the rotor wouldn't really work with gravity.
Okay, yeah.
But that was disproved by Mr. Pogue, Colonel Pogue. Yeah, first automatic chronograph in space, and it was only after some watch nerds found pictures of him wearing that from his mission. I don't know when it was, mid-70s. Don't know.
But that was after the moon landing, though.
Yeah. He wasn't going up to the moon.
So how was it the first watch in space if he was doing that in the 70s and not the 60s?
No, the first automatic chronograph in space.
People
People just don't go to space just to go to the moon. There's other stuff up there.
fair enough.
Apparently.
Basically, it's on the technicality. So instead of being a manual watch, it's an
automatic, because it's got the rotor. So that was proved to be that. Now, 6139. Sorry, I keep on going 6319.
It's only 4 numbers.
6139. Okay, so this is a 6139-6002, and what you have, the 600 number after that, it dictates whether it's one of these models that has the external bezel, which everyone calls Pogues, but to be a true Pogue, it needs to have the gold yellow honey.
Okay, yeah, because there is quite a few different versions, isn't there?
There's loads of different dial versions. Only 3 colours. You get one in like a dark blue, one in a silver, and the silver one looks awesome. It looks so good. And then you get this one with the gold, and that was the one that Colonel Pogue wore. He wore exactly the same as this 6002. But the other dials I mentioned, you get ones called proof dials, which are a bit more sought after. You get on the left-hand side near the 9. You get proof or resist, water resist 70 meters, waterproof 70 meters.
They couldn't be asked to actually write waterproof or water resistant. They just put proof or resist.
No, they had waterproof 70 meters or water resist, depending on whereabouts it was.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's
just so many different iterations. You've got to do so much research.
Also, another variation of the dials is where it says Seiko chronograph automatic. Some only say Seiko automatic at the top. I think it's to do where the domestic market was. I think the JDM ones say chronograph automatic, and others don't.
Just mad.
There's lots of different dials for these. That's what we're trying to say.
It just must be impossible to find the right one if you want the true kind of space-going watch.
Well, it's fun. I mean, because this one as well, you've got the inner rotating bezel on these. And
yeah, which when I first opened it up, I was like, oh, the inner bezel's not really kind of right. It's well off centre. It's broken, but yeah, I twisted what did I twist? I twisted the knob on the outside.
Crown.
The crown. That's it.
Knob.
The crown. Yeah, bloody hell, I've got knobs on the brain. So yeah, twisted the crown, and then obviously the inner bezel just rotated lovely, which was.
And this one's actually faded to totally white as well. They only ever came in mainly yellow. I think the Australians got black as well.
Yeah, but is it faded or did it come in white?
There is so many different rumours about this. Some people say that they did come with white ones, but there's actually no evidence to suggest it did.
So the white works better anyway because it matches the hands and the hour markers. Whereas the yellow, it doesn't match the gold, it doesn't match anything else, and it looks even more garish. Like a tangerine orange, isn't it, rather than
yeah,
gold.
It's like a honey gold treacle. We'll call it treacle. Whether we'll get in a rotating yellow one just to make it look more original, I don't know. But I quite like it with the white now. Actually, I wasn't sure.
I like it as it is. I don't think you should change the rotating bezel. I think it should stay.
So aside from it being arguably the first automatic chronograph in space, it is also argued to be the very first automatic chronograph as well.
Rather than obviously all the manual chronographs.
Yeah, that came before it.
Automatic. So
Absolutely.
again, it's just another technicality, whether it's manual or auto. No, fair enough.
But yeah, you had it's 1969, so you had Hoyer, also with I think it was Breitling as well. They kind of combined together with was it Gruen? Maybe a few other ones all got together to try and make the first automatic chronograph movement. As well as Zenith working on their own El Primero at the time.
I love Zenith.
We'll get one at some point. But they had that, and so the Zenith came out, well, it was announced in January 69, so that should be the first, but it was only announced at that point. In the August, I think the Hoyer Caliber 11 maybe come out. Again, automatic chronograph. But in the background, Seiko have been working on the 6139. Which
Secret squirrel.
I know. And this actually came out in June and it was completely released. So whether it was actually released before the El Primero, who knows? But again, it's pretty incredible that Seiko again.
See, this is the thing I don't get with some of the vintage stuff, is how do people not know? Like the rotating bezel on this, was it released in white or was it released in yellow? How is there no actual records that say whether it was released then or whether it was released with this? I just don't understand.
It's Seiko. It's Seiko. They have, I don't know, there's that many different things that go around about what Seiko were doing, and also they had two factories at the time as well. So they had the Suwa and the Danai ones. Basically, they were set up for the King Seiko and Grand Seiko kind of rivalry.
Oh yeah, because they were competing them
Suwa
against each other and seeing who made the best ones. And
exactly
obviously
right.
Grand Seiko won that.
So this was Suwa, which was where Grand Seiko was produced.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Danai had a different reference for their automatic chronograph, which I cannot remember. I think it begins with a 5, might begin with a 7.
Informative.
I know. We like to give our informative chats here.
Mm-hmm. In pictures, it's pretty horrendous, to be honest. And anyone who says it isn't horrendous, I think they're just kind of blinded by the fact that they love to watch the heritage and whatnot. But seeing it in real life, it's actually really quite nice. And it's the same with my 6139, the big old gold one.
Yeah, your porn star special.
Yeah, my porn star one. I still haven't grown it attached properly. I am trying, but it's not getting there. I was thinking, no, that's horrible, I'd never wear it. And now, I love it. I really love it. And it's the same with this. This is a fantastic looking watch. And the dial, the sub-dial, it all just works. And the tachymeter on the outside, absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's Pepsi tachymeter on the outside.
It adds to the garishness, but it does work. It works very nice.
The thing is with these, they are so 70s and they've got so much character.
Mm-hmm. And it wears so well.
It does. I mean, for an early watch, I mean, at that time, 69. I mean,
this is big for them as well.
It is. I mean, it's 41 mil, I think, 41 mil, but it wears quite. But it's got quite a stubby. Well, it's got quite stubby lugs.
Yeah.
So it wears pretty nicely on the wrist, to be honest. It doesn't look oversized.
It's got a very, very weird shaped case as well, isn't it?
It's almost like a cushion case, almost like a diver.
Because it's different from my 6139 in that respect as well.
It's more rounded. I think it's a bit more rounded.
The only thing that lets it down for me is that jangly, horrible bracelet.
So this is still on the original bracelet. It's still on the H bracelet.
It's surprising, but I mean, it's jangly, it's horrible. I don't actually think the bracelet's that comfortable from when I wore it, albeit briefly, and then this clasp is horrid. Absolutely
it's so
horrid.
stretched, isn't it?
It's so stretched, yeah. Trying to click it over is just, especially when you're trying to put it on.
But when it's on, I quite like the look of it.
I don't know, I'd like to see it on something else. I know that's what we do all the time. I don't think any of my watches are on a bracelet anymore. But
annoyingly, Seiko did the Seiko thing from the 70s and give it 19mm lugs.
Oh, great!
Which is
brilliant.
Great. It's same as my Lord Marvel and the King Quartz as well. They're 19mm lug width.
Basically, get your scissors out and
get trimming that nail down.
Arts and crafts and get something to fit. So the way it catches the light as well.
Well, it doesn't even need to be watch enthusiasts. Like people will see it and it'll get attention.
No, I'm not being. It'll get attention, all right, from non-watching.
Whether it's the right attention or not is
people will just look at you thinking you're a right weirdo. I think. I mean, before I was into watches, I'd look at that and think, oh my god, it's yellow, red, blue, white, and then silver case.
You wouldn't look at a place with an ice cream van outside of school, would you? Sometimes
it's like Ronald McDonald's watch. That's what this looks like. It takes seeing it in person to love it. Which I think as soon as we've both seen it in real life, I mean you loved it beforehand, but
I've been a fan of these ever since I started looking up at them really. I'd love the silver dial one, but I think the yellow is kind of what you want to go for.
And for the price point of what they are, and the heritage and history, I mean that's really good. I mean you have a look at the price you pay for a Speedmaster and you have a look at the price you pay for this, I think it's really good value for money, to be fair. The movement's quite nice. It's not as nice as obviously the Speedmaster.
You mean decorated wise?
Yeah,
you've got the rotor in the way, but I mean there's such a solid movement. The 6139 movement.
All the clickers work still quite nicely.
You've got to be so careful buying these because there's a lot of snides about, and a lot of them are kind of Malaysian specials in the sense that people replace the crowns with home fashion crowns made with different bits put together. They take the gaskets out of the chronograph pushers and dirt gets in there, and then the chronograph doesn't reset to 12.
Yeah, and I think with that, the chronograph movement, and then the way that you change the date.
Yeah,
I love that. Just the crown's mostly quite hidden as well, because obviously there's no crown guard.
The really early ones had a notch in the case as well, so you couldn't see it at all. They just had a little notched case. But the way you the way you actually, because it's got your date on there as well, so you push it in slightly to change the date, and you push it a little bit further, change the date.
So you think about it, it is an automatic chronograph with day complications. At that price point, it's fantastic, and obviously with the history, that is
character. You couldn't wear this to work, could you? You couldn't wear it with a,
No, I don't think I would. No, I don't think I'd wear it to work. Although I've worn my gold on to work, I quite like it.
Have you?
Yeah, I have worn that to work. But I'm not too sure about that.
When you wore the gold one, what part in the adult film were you auditioning for? You were the plumber, weren't you?
I was the plumber. I'm always the plumber. Why can't I be the customer for one day? So yeah, I think that's pretty much all we can say on the Pogue. Don't dismiss it just from pictures. Research them.
That's the main thing. Research. There's a really good article on a website called thespringbar.com that has everything you can want to know about.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really, really good, especially if you're considering buying one. Just do your research. Be wary.
And try and find one in person, which obviously that's easier said than done. But seriously, in person, they're
not for everyone. Let's put that. It's really, really Marmite. But
until you see it, and then it's so well built. It's lovely. You can sit here and look at this dial for ages. Even if you didn't wear it out, because I can understand the embarrassment, literally just having it indoors to look at all the time. I find myself looking at this quite a lot.
We'll come round on Friday. We'll sit here and watch the Pogue.
It's a stunning looking watch with loads of details and character. Stunning in the good and the bad sense of the word, actually. But yeah, as I say, try and see one in person. Try and wear one as well, because just how comfortable they are. I think a fair bit of respect's got to be given to it because it is.
It's very Seiko, very Japanese for the time.
So 70s.
It's so 70s, which I love anyway. So yeah. So I think that was actually pretty informative for us.
Yeah, not too bad actually. We're never this well. We're never this informative.
No, a lot more nonsense.
Yeah. So yeah, we've been Clockbait. If you want to see more videos of us talking bollocks about watches, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.